Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm Rebecca. In this episode, I'm going to talk about how we can regulate our nervous system by using something called glimmers. Glimmers are the moments and activities that make us feel safe and regulated. I've heard this described in the context of managing ADHD traits, which I can relate to, but I think it's valuable for all of us. And the opposite of glimmers are triggers. Some triggers from my own list are too little sleep, too much caffeine, skipping meals so that the blood sugar goes down too much. And just a side note about food, which is also a whole other topic about how the overly skinny and small body type has been pushed again lately. Pushing the idea that women that we need to be small and frail and not take up space. Eating nutritious food regularly grounds us into our bodies. It makes us feel strong and regulated and keeps us clear-headed and clear-thinking. Someone who is not eating enough and even starving themselves is so much easier to manipulate and control because they are not regulated and not thinking clearly. And when I say regulated, I'm talking about our nervous system, a regulated nervous system, as opposed to a dysregulated nervous system. And this is also the case when we are sleep deprived. This is why in many cults, it's a common strategy for the cult leader to deprive cult members of both sleep and food. And when the blood sugar in the body is very low and when we are tired, more of the stress hormone cortisol is released, which can make us feel dysregulated. Some people are more sensitive to this, and I'm one of them. So I have started writing down my triggers and my glimmers. I'm adding to the list all the time, and the list of the glimmers so far is much longer. Probably because it's a lot more fun to write those things down. And here are some of my personal glimmers. My morning coffee. And I know that one of my triggers is too much caffeine, but it's a matter of the amount and the timing here. The perfect amount at the right time of day is a glimmer for me, not a trigger. And it also gives me a moment for reflection in the morning. Eating regularly is another one. Meditation. Reading my books, and I have an evening habit of reading one of my books at least 10 to 20 minutes just before going to sleep. Or if I'm really tired, I might just read even for 5 minutes. Sleeping well and sleeping enough. For me, that's at least 8 hours, sometimes more. Going to bed at a reasonable time. Stretching, which I do every morning for just a few minutes. Exercising, like weightlifting. That's also very grounding, I find. Nature or park walks. Listen to guided meditations, and I have some go-tos that I listen to regularly. Swimming, especially outdoors. And this week I'm going to my ancestral lands up in Dalarna in Sweden, and I'm going to swim in the Lake Siljan, and it's one of the best things about Swedish summer. Just to swim outdoors and feel that you're close to nature, it's also extremely grounding. And calming music or music that makes me feel good. Using my tarot cards and oracle cards. But I should say not overly using them, but just when I'm feeling inspired to use them. writing and journaling, and last but not least, a good conversation with a good friend or family member. I love my alone time to reflect on things, but sometimes what I need is to connect with people in my life and get each other's perspective and support each other. And some of these are just very simple things that we might not even think about when we're doing them. But the idea is to let them build up. We will experience some of these glimmers every day and some of them only occasionally. But once we know what our glimmers are and add to that list, we can consciously choose to do more of them more often. We can, of course, avoid some of the triggers, but I would focus more on building the glimmers. And sometimes glimmers can be spontaneous and not planned. Like the other day when I was taking a walk in the park close to where I live, here in Uppsala in Sweden, and I walked past some especially vibrant flowers that caught my eye. And there's a picture of those flowers in the thumbnail of this video. I truly believe that building a meaningful life that we feel good about is about the small habits and moments that build up over time and become something bigger. Thank you for listening, and remember to always follow your inner guidance. Bye.